welcome back to the channel. Because we had many questions last time, I thought I will record the questions and answers episode 17. Many interesting questions about the Navamsha, Vargottama, Aquarius and Scorpio, 8th house and Mars, Venus and sacred service yogas. We have about the meaning of abroad, if a person was moved to other country very early, is it really abroad? And a few questions related to karma, so today's questions are very interesting. If you are brand new here, my name is rgendarz. This channel is all about Vedic astrology in the tradition of Sri Achyutananda with the analytical research example-based approach. So the first question is about the vargottama. Is it vargottama when we have a connection, for example, with the dashamsa sign, not with the Navamsha? Although there are techniques which are comparing the Varga signs and the Rasi chart. Amsha Tulya Rashi, Rashi Tulya Amsha. They are taught especially in the Nadis. The term vargottama is only related to the Navamsha and Jagannath because etymologically it comes from these words Varga, which are the divisional charts. These are the additional charts. We have the main chart in Vedic astrology called Rashi, and also the divisional charts, which are like zooming, taking into the special consideration the specific areas of life. So Varga Uttama. Now this Uttama refers to special state of the planet called Uttamamsa. So this falls into the category how strong is the planet based on the position in the Vargas. So we have the Shodasa Varga, Dasa Varga, Shodasamsa Varga, and so on. So each division is serving the special purpose. So for this, Varga Uttamamsa is related to 3 Vargas. So although we say Rashi and Navamsha, but traditionally we say that it also automatically includes this Jagannath. So these 3 charts are very important. Therefore, this Rashi and Navamsha and the hidden Jagannath which is also there, this is a special meaning. And when 2 planets, now when there is a Rashi sign and some other Vargas, Guruji says that this falls into the category of Parijatamsa. So this is 2. This is only 2. So this is a different scenario. This is not so strong. So this is not technically vargottama. Although it has some other meaning, because Navamsha is Parivriti Varga. So it means that it always goes circular, house by house. There are no jumps like in the Dashamsa. And therefore this Parivriti is related to Brahma, this is related to our body, therefore it has also relation to the rishis, to the chakras, therefore it has different meaning. On the deep level, this Navamsha based, which is only Vargottama, is much stronger, deeper, and so on. So we say that technically the Rashi and the Shamsa, same sign connection, is not Vargottama, although it has another effect. There is this connection of signs on all Vargas. As I said, this is in the Nadi, the Amsha Tulya Rashi or Rashi Tulya Amsha. Yeah, so that would be it. So the Vargottama is much more stronger. Also, it has the purity of Vishnu and the strength of the Mrityunjaya mantra. Atmakaraka is Vargottama. It has a strong relationship to the Rishi. Rishis are the seers, which sometimes have even bigger power than the Devatas. If you have Vargottama planet, you have a connection to that Rishi. So based on the planets, there are different Rishis. Sun is the Kashyapa Marichi, Moon is related to Atri, and so on. There are some interesting shlokas related to Vargottama. For example, we get to know in the Sharavali 35 chapter 29 shloka, if single benefic is Vargottama, the native is king, provided the planet is strong and aspected by benefic. So here the king, in our context, because we could find this probably in more than one chart, it's not so rare. Although the planet is strong, can here hide some special meaning, how strong it can be and what kind of strength. But definitely we can say that this is making this planet very strong, and also the native having some kind of influence. From Jataka Parijata 7th chapter, Jupiter with Mars and Moon in Pushkara or Vargottama makes one king. Now we also have from C.C. Patel translation that Jupiter in Kendrakona in Pushkara makes one lucky or wealthy, but not if it falls on 6th, 8th and 12th. Tulya Rashi. So if we take this planet back to the Rashi, if it falls in Dushtana, then this is cancelled. In the Devakaranam, the third book, 4852 shloka, Rahu in second makes child full of depths. But if it's Vargottama and with benefic, native is very famous. Devakaranam, the first book, 931 shloka, if Guru is in seven and Vargottam, then the short life yogas are destroyed and long life is promised. So Sanjay Ji is also saying that if we are having a Mercury very strong, then our speech is the best. There is some power and it's deep. Now if a Mangal, then the strength is the best. If it's Moon, then the mind is the best. If it's Sun, then we have the best soul, we could say. Now the next question is about the Aquarius or Scorpio in the Navamsha. So Sanjay Ji was also teaching that this, if there are planets in the Scorpio, it can bring the suffering. If there are planets in the Aquarius, this can bring denial or loss. And someone is questioning, how do we know? Is it denial or is it loss? So I would say that from this position, it is hard to know, but we need to take these planets to the Rasi chart and we need to see what's going on. We can see the house. For example, the denial is that you are not getting into contact. So for example, if you have malefics or some affliction in 9 and 12 from that Karaka in the Rashi, then it's hard to even get there. But if you have planets in the 2nd and 5th, then it's hard to sustain, so that could be loss. That is one way. There are other ways to know. We can use the Aruda, we can use the lordships, or even the specific Varga related to these planets. So to answer, is it denial or loss? I would say it's very hard to answer from that position of that planet in the Scorpio or Aquarius. We need to employ other tools to be able to answer this question. The next question is about karma. How the Prarabdha karma, which is coming from the past life, and the Kriyamana, this is the karma which we create in this life, how they are functioning together. So I remember the good example was that if you are on the plane, so you are like Prarabdha karma flying somewhere, but also on that same plane you are able to make a choices when, with which plane, where to fly after this flight. So you can do a lot of things on that plane. So you have your own life, but there are things you are not able to change. Like you have some height, you have some gender, you have like some popularity, you have some status, you have some wealth. So you can modify them. You can work within that range, within some range, right? But you are not able to change everything. Like for example, now it's very hard to change your height. There are some surgeries, but without surgery, you cannot change your height or you cannot change your sex and so on. You are working within some type of or some range of possibilities, but in the same time, you are creating the new karma. And we say that you have 33% of free will. This is based on the special houses in the chart, Upachaya, 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 11th. So we have these Brahma houses, they say. And Brahma, this concept of Brahma, is related to the free will. So we have these 4 houses, and they are giving us 33% of free will, because this is the 1/3 of the 100%, right? So 4 from 12 houses will give this 33% of free will. So all the time you are controlled by the planets in the 2 ways. First of all, by external circumstances, and secondly, this graha, especially this antardasha graha, this mid-period, right? We have the dasha, which is showing which planet are active in a specific period of life, and the big one, the main one, is the Mahadasha, the second, which is the sub-period. There are 9 sub-periods in that big period, right? This is Antardasha. So this planet is working very much on your mind, how you feel. So this graha is like plugged into your brain, into your mind, and you may think that I have a big array of choices, I can do whatever I want, but you are under this control. And we can see that because we see how the preferences are changing based on our chart, our friends, family, especially the close ones, because then we can see this personal life more closely than with the celebrities. We don't have that access. These preferences, this mind working is changing based on the Antardasha, so then it shows that you have some external things. Also our body in this context is external, so we have some situations. This is the Prarabdha karma, but based on our new desires, we are now creating new things. Now in the scientific world, especially in this neurobiology, this brain study, people are tending towards this attitude that we don't have free will. Like Sam Harris book, you can read about it, that there are just some neurons working, there's some base, and by this action and reaction, this is leading to some effects. You have that illusion that you are choosing something. But we say that there is this small gap, especially if you have a lot of sattva guna. So if you are on the rajas guna or tamas guna, then this impulsivity is very strong. You cannot break into, and you cannot give a veto. You cannot go against these impulses, right? But if you have sattva guna more, then you can observe your mind, and sometimes you can go against that impulse. And this is what is differentiating the humans from animals, because as Prabhupada says, the animals are going always up automatically. They don't have this ethical system, ethical statement. There is this action-reaction, this impulsivity is very strong, biology. So there is this war also here between the psychology and biology, where these neuroscientists are saying that no, it's all predetermined by this impulsivity in the brain, but in the psychological world we are speaking a lot about these conflicts, for example, between our impulses and what we ought to do, the moral code, right? So there is this battle between the mind and intelligence. The next question is, are the remedy really good? Because here we can say that we are playing with the Prarabdha karma. So is it not something, which can end up not well? So I would say that if we take the Vedas as the authority, right, the Aparusheya Pramana, and the Brahmana, or the Shabda Pramana, the proof coming from the authority, then the same authors or the same constructors, builders of the whole system are giving us also the ways or the remedies to help ourselves in the system. So we are not doing anything unlawful when we are going to the remedies. We are specifically doing what we should do, because even in the Jataka Parijata it says that when we are born, we are getting the map, and the map is our chart. So if we know the chart, we know which energies are being activated at which time. Now, if we know that, then we can modify those energies on this very metaphysical root karmic level. So there are ways to do it, right? So first of all, we know that there are some energies on this metaphysical ideal, the second stage, right? And then the question would be, if there are these manifestations in my life which make me suffer, and they are coming from this one metaphysical energy, can I do something with that? That would be the question. It would be fantastic if I can go to this root, to the world of the ideas, and change that root, do something there. Then it would be fantastic, because then whatever events will come from this would also be modified. I don't need to change each manifestation of that one root energy. I just go to the root. So that is the philosophy of doing the remedies. That is the most ergonomic way to change our life, because we are going to these 9 sources of everything which is happening in our life. So if we find that there is the problem, yes, this is the problem. If we are already convinced that yes, this is the problem, it has manifested in that time, this is how it manifests in my life. Yes, we are convinced, everything fits, then naturally we can go to the sources of information, which are the same sources which are telling us about the problem. So the same rishis, the same shastra, which is giving us the information about how to diagnose the problem. We also have, this is the remedy. You can try that. It's not easy because there are 3 types of karma. There's drida, drida atridha, and adridha, so which is easy to change or hard to change, sometimes impossible maybe to change. But we have this possibility and we can try. We can do something in this direction. And you will only get good things from this. You will develop some relationship with the devata. You will go more into the sattvic lifestyle. You will have some discipline. You will be like meditating. So from each point of view, if you are within that sattvic border of doing mantras, we are not following any rajasic or tamasic remedies, we are only going to sattva, then only good is waiting for you. And this is not rebellion against the system. This is exact following what we should do, and there is this bad karma manifesting in our life. We have also a question with the short answer, what to do when there is a Parivartana planet joint. Does it move to the other? In most cases, the planet will move to the planet joint. The planet joint will move to the other sign. That's the answer. Okay guys, so if you like the video so far, please click the thumbs up. It helps me with the algorithm to make this video more visible on this platform. Subscribe to get notified about similar videos in the future, to not miss any interesting video. And now let's go back to these questions. The next question is, if a person is born in the UK but moved to India within the 9 months, so very early, right? In the first chakra dasha, in the first year. I have seen, by the way, the chart of the person who was asking the question. It was a Rahu in the Lagna, the lord of that Sagittarius, Jupiter in the 9th. So it shows first year, yes, you are going abroad. So that chart is the answer. That chart is showing that even if you are culturally connected by your parents, by your family, by your upbringing to the country when you are moving to the India, right? It's like going back from the generation perspective. It's still per Jyotish and per logic, it's abroad for you because you have been born in UK. That was your karma. Something had to happen that you were born in the UK and you moved abroad. So even if you are culturally and family upbringing, all that language, everything will be from the new country, it's still abroad for you. The next question is, if the Atmakaraka is in Kendra in the curse, what mantra? So this depends on the curse. So for different curses, the Parashara is giving the various remedies, various rituals, various dana. You have to give something, you have to do something, you have to fast, you have to do the mantras and so on. But the Kendra position of Atmakaraka or even Trikona are always very good because it shows that the intention was not bad. So the intention of the curse, if it's in Dushtana, in Rashi, then in the previous life, it could be evil intention. So your intelligence was also engaged in the malefic action, bringing now the curse. If it's in the Kendra Kona, it could be the effect of misunderstanding. Maybe it was some conflict that anyway someone would suffer. Many gray areas like that in life, but it was not the evil intention. So therefore the Dushtana curses are normally worse. The next question is about the secret service indication. So what is the yoga to work in secret service? So 8th house in the Rashi, as Sanjay Ji was once, many years ago, there was the Putin chart on YouTube. You can see that. So there, Sanjay Ji is saying the difference between the Lagna, ascendant, which is something that everyone knows, and 8th house, some secret. So Scorpio, 8th house, but for more serious analysis, I would see Rahu, also Aquarius, and then Dashamsa, very strongly influencing the Artakona. And in the Navamsha, you would also support this Ketu Rahu. Now, if the secret service is in the country operating, then it's more Ketu. protecting from others. If it's going to other countries like a spy, then it's more Rahu. So that would be the difference. And the next question is Mars, Venus, and 8 in Aslesha. So the Aslesha nakshatra is a rope. It shows also the family generations. Also it's a snake nakshatra, so it has many meanings. It can be dangerous because it's in a Gandanta. All these Mercury, Ketu nakshatras are Gandanta. They are on the borders, so the planet is changing clothes, going to the another sign, another Aditya for the sun. So with the Mars-Venus combination, it can give us the libido, right? It can give also strong celibacy. So it can be both extremes, depending where this planet is. So in 8th house, this situation can be problematic. This situation can stop the marriage, bring divorce, whatever it is. Then we have to analyze more what it is, because it can manifest in many ways, right? So something to do with libido. Venus-Mars can also provoke the fights, because the Venus is general experience of marriage and the planets joined are showing what we can expect. So this Mars-Venus is Gandanta dosha, fire, water, just like Sun and Moon. So this can bring many challenges, and these challenges can afflict the marriage because now it's in 8th house. So normally Venus in 8 is not the best for attitude towards relationship. Normally these people may be too independent for marriage. They are not born for marriage. We could say that. So I have taught that to many people with that position. They say, no, it's not true. I want to be married. I want to be in a relationship with Venus 6 or 8. Yes, they want, but either their vision of relationship includes a lot of independent thing, they are like warriors, or they are too spiritual, they are very spiritual. Venus in 8 can give sannyasa, direction. So something in their action, in their attitude, the view, working within that frame, or even before trying to go into such situation, narrative, it may be type of energy or efforts that are a bit anti-marriage. Something will be there. Okay guys, so that's gonna be it from me. I hope you find it interesting and informative. Please write me in the comments if you have any questions related to this video. Subscribe for more and see you in the next one.